The Xreal 1 and 1 Pro versus the MetaQuest 3. Both very different devices, but they also share the same space. Xreal promotes itself as XR, and with the ability to move in 3D space with the addition of the Xreal Eye and its 6 DoF capabilities, that positions it even more so in the same field as the MetaQuest 3. Which one should you get? Which one do you need, and what are the differences?
Need this fantasy.
This episode is sponsored by VR Wave. Thank you very much to them. More from them in just a bit. The MetaQuest 3 is a hefty son of a gun. It weighs in at 515 grams. And while the resolution, the displays have 2064 by 2208, sounds phenomenal when pitted against the 1080p displays on the Xreal glasses, you will find that the display is crisper within the Xreal glasses, of which weigh only 86 grams. It's night and day. The difference in weight on your head from one device to the next is wild. And it needs to be said that the MetaQuest 3 also doesn't come with a very decent head strap. And so when you go for something more comfortable that puts the weight on your forehead using something like the Bobo VR strap, it increases the weight even further. Now jumping right into the pricing, because I think this is going to be the bottleneck. The Xreal 1 costs $499 and the 1 Pro comes in at $649. It's a chunk of change. The differences between the 1 and the 1 Pro are all to do with the field of view, taking you from 50 degrees field of view to 57, and a smaller lens, which positions it closer to your eye. It brings the entire thing closer to your face, and it makes for what appear to be, from others around you, a normal set of sunglasses. Now, if you want to save money, the Xreal 1 works just fine. The field of view is lesser, but because these glasses uniquely are able to pin screens in 3D space, with or without the Xreal Eye for that extra 6 DoF, it does make it so that even at a restricted 50 degrees field of view, you can pull it closer or move it further away, pin it in space so that when you turn your head, it stays in its position and you can do a full 360, and when you come back, it'll be there. And so as long as you make that screen small enough, it doesn't matter the field of view, because you're able to position it in such a way that it's just always in frame. And now I'm going to focus on the Xreal for the moment. It is a very crisp screen between the Xreal 1 and the 1 Pro. Even at 1080p, knowing that there are 2 dual displays firing down, hitting prisms, and directing that into your eye in the glasses, it's very crisp. And with the Xreal 1 Pro, I have no bleeding around the edges. There are zero compromises as far as the display is concerned, but it has to be tethered. These glasses only work if you're connected to a phone, a Steam Deck, a Nintendo Switch 2 with a couple extra steps, your computer, and such. And so you always have a cable going from the glasses to your device. But knowing that and getting an enormous screen when you're on the bus, a plane, camping, it makes for a very immersive experience. The benefits of the glasses that weigh less than 100 grams, they offer a 171 inches giant screen that can be pinned in air with an X1 chip for computing. If your goal is to watch immersive 3D movies, side-by-side videos, or to play video games using the Steam Deck, if your bag is filled with Call of Duty and Doom Eternal, Forza Horizon, if you're all about flat screen and you would love the option to watch 3D movies with, again, zero compromises, to where it's not a set of glasses that flicker left and right to fabricate that stuttering 3D effect. If you want absolute 3D content, if you play video games, if you consume media through your phone, platforms like Netflix, Hulu, and if you're on the go, the Xreal 1 is a fantastic device and I can recommend it. What if you need glasses? My wife, for instance, whether she's in the Xreal 1 or playing the MetaQuest 3, she always has to incorporate glasses set on her face with the headset overlaid on top of it. It's uncomfortable for her. It makes me nervous because I don't want her to scratch the lenses. And that's where VR Wave comes in. I really appreciate these guys for sponsoring this episode. VR Wave specializes in custom lenses across multiple devices. Whether you're using the Meta Quest 3, the PSVR 2, Xreal glasses, they've got you covered. They include a small screwdriver so that you can attach those lenses quickly and efficiently. And the lenses that they sent for my wife and her prescription, which were easily passed along, they work phenomenally. They're exactly what she needs. And now she doesn't have to wear glasses when using the Xreal One Pro. They're inexpensive, they're easy to apply, and their website is intuitive. Once you have the lenses attached, they simply snap in at the top. There's nothing to screw in. They stick in, and it's simple. Xreal provides you with the frame needed to attach the lenses. Comes with every set of Xreal glasses. So whether you have the Xreal glasses or the Meta Quest 3, which I'm about to talk about, and you can save 5% off by using the code BRINGHURSTVR at checkout. I hope you'll check them out. It's linked down below, and thank you again to them for sponsoring this episode. But I'm only talking about flat screen gaming, 3D side-by-side movies, and a giant screen pinned in 3D space. Now you can do all that with the Meta Quest 3. You can watch 3D movies in a theater on the moon. You can connect your headset to your PC and play Steam games on a giant screen. You can do all of it, but at what cost? The weight of the headset is 6-7 times more heavy than what the glasses offer. And I'm not saying anything new here. Anyone who's followed my channel, you're already subscribed. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification bell. It does my channel a world of good. But I expect a lot of people are watching this, and they're coming in clean, like they have no idea. And they hear something like XR glasses, and they think that the Xreal One and the Quest 3 do the same thing. One's just a smaller form factor, and they can't hold them for that, for thinking that. But it's just not the case. It's not the truth. They overlap in some instances, again, regarding 3D movies and a theater-like experience. And with the addition of the Xreal Eye, the ability to pin in 3D space and physically forward and backward, up and down, move around that image. But that's where it stops. You could get a Quest 3 and use it only for all of those experiences I mentioned, and you'd be a happy camper. But watching a movie in the headset on the Quest 3 is decidedly uncomfortable. The resolution, even it being more than double what the Xreal One offers, it's noticeably less. Because for that higher resolution, split between two displays and magnified, it's phenomenal compared to the Meta Quest 2. It's amazing. But if you look for it, there is still a screen door effect, which is to say that you can see the pixels. If you're watching a great movie and you're lost in it, you won't notice. You'll be fine. But it is not as crisp as what the Xreal offers. But you can't play VR games with the Xreal One or the One Pro. You just can't. There are a ton of cool experiences on the Meta Quest. If you're watching this and you have never tried VR, or you're getting it for your kid and Christmas is around the corner and he says he wants one, but you don't understand fully what it is he's asking for, it's a gaming console that can do just about everything. Some experiences are better than others, some games are more expensive than others, but there's plenty of free content if you go looking for it. Apps like Theater Elsewhere offer hundreds and hundreds of really quality experiences that are completely free. Games like Population 1 control the market. They're stellar, and those are free to play. And someday, you're going to want to know what else the Meta Quest 3 can do, and as you're exploring it, you may decide to get a gaming PC. In which case, it unlocks Steam VR, higher resolution, more AAA content, and the ability to wirelessly stream to your headset with virtual desktop. That is a much more expensive proposition, but once you're there, it's undisputable that you have reached like a god tier level of gaming, and it's fantastic. There are so many great experiences that can't be overlooked, and you're gonna have a great time. Now the Meta Quest 3 is $499, already cheaper than the Xreal One Pro, and the same price as the Xreal One. If you go with the Meta Quest 3S, which has a little more diminished lenses, a lower resolution, but otherwise the same capabilities, that's $299, and that's much less than the Xreal 1, the Xreal 1 Pro combined. But at the end of the day, this is only what is it you want to do. If you only want to play flat screen, if you've been hung up on Doom Eternal and The Outer Wilds and that's all you want to play, you want to play flat screen games in the bathtub, if that's you, then you should get the Xreal 1. But it hurts to think that you could get the MetaQuest 3S for less money, knowing that you would have a fully immersive, beautiful platform with free games, free content, in the comfort of a giant theater. One that you can get up and walk around in. It's not 3'd off, it's not pinned to any one thing. You are fully immersed. And so in the end, I would say that the MetaQuest 3 is for everyone. And the Xreal 1 glasses are for those who have tried VR. They decided that they didn't like it. They want to play games and consume media on the go, knowing full well the limitations that brings with it. Which is to say that if you haven't tried either and you're on the fence, get the MetaQuest 3S or the 3. I recommend the 3, it's just better. And I'm in a position to where if you use my link down below, you can save 10% off on the headset, which is huge. You can also save 10% off on every single game you want to buy by using my links, my code BRINGHURST. Just the value proposition is difficult to argue with. Now, I have both the Xreal 1 and the MetaQuest 3 because I'm in a position to where I do enjoy watching movies and I prefer the higher resolution of the Xreal 1 Pro. I prefer how light it is on my head, and I prefer how easy it is to travel with it compared to the MetaQuest 3. I don't get the same looks as when I wear the Quest 3 in public. And so for that, they cover two different use cases, and I use them both exclusively for different things, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I rather like them both, but some things are just different. Please subscribe, like this video, hit that notification bell so you always know when I upload. It would mean a lot to me. We also have members. It's only a few bucks, and through that you get early access to videos, you get members only content, marbles, which we're doing this weekend, and I think that you'll have a great time. Thank you again to VR Wave for sponsoring this episode. Be sure to check them out down below. Thank you again, and Godspeed.